Hello everyone, it's GigaBeef here, and today I'll be showing you why the RD704 gives us the best of both when modding, as well as how the wooden stock might not be as bad as it looks at first glance. By the way, I do stream on YouTube and Twitch, and I keep my schedule up to date on Twitter, so do come by to ask any questions live. So the RD is by no means a budget or early weapon, in no small part because it's only accessible at Mechanic 4 and is banned on the flea. You might get lucky and find one out in your raids on a player or in a stash, but unless you're at least level 40 and have the reputation with the traders, it's not something that you'll be able to use consistently. Even once at this milestone, it comes at a fairly hefty cost of 115,000 rubles, but given the default stats of this gun are very decent, with 71.5 ergo and 97 recoil, it might be worth the price. As usual, let's take a look at the minimum recoil version to see where we can get to. Fortunately, the RD is quite a simple weapon when it comes to modding, as there are no handguard or barrel alternatives to complicate the situation. We can start straight with the muzzle using the QDC muzzle brake, and onto this we can put the expensive but powerful PRS QDC suppressor. This pair costs 80k from the traders together, but is the best 7.62 combo that you can buy. From here, we'll add the M-LOK 4.1-inch rail and the RK2 foregrip. This is still the best for recoil, but I don't recommend using it practically because of the enormous ergo swing of -8. For the stocks, technically the lowest is the ME4 adapter, with the Mesa crosshair tube inside it. Onto this, the PRS Gen 3 gets us as low as possible, but again, we'll probably look to swap this out when we look at the meta build. With the other parts, we'll swap over to the Bastion for a touch more recoil, and after this it's just in ergo enhancements. The pistol grip can be moved to the AGS-74 sniper grip, although bear in mind this only adds 2 ergonomics, as the original Tango Down that comes with the RD is pretty good. Then we'll add the knurled charging handle for 3 more ergo and swap out the magazine for something a little bit more ergonomic. Overall, we get to 38 ergo here with 43 recoil. Now that we know where the limit is, let's swap out a few parts to optimize for ergonomics, which allows us to ADS more quickly. There's a range of foregrips that are acceptable, and normally I go for the SE5, but the RD is one of these rare weapons where you can use the RK1 or the canted version if you really want to. We get a lot of ergonomics with the gun just from how some of these changes end up working out, so taking the extra 1% recoil reduction is actually okay with this weapon. Most of this ergo advantage actually comes from the stock. The Mesa combo is so very close to the Zhukov that there is little point keeping it that way. For 16 ergonomics, we give up a tiny piece of recoil, but I think it's well worth it both for the stats and on cost, as it's only $170 from Peacekeeper. This now brings us to 64 ergonomics with 46 recoil. Losing 3 recoil points is certainly worth the 26 ergonomics to me, and especially as it swings us firmly through the 50 ergo mark, which is usually where you get the most impact. Now, the meta build is very expensive, but that's kind of to be expected when the weapon itself and the suppressor combo is 200,000 rubles on its own. However, although this feels amazing to shoot, it's not necessary to run it this way entirely. One of my favourite alternatives is using the Thunderbeast muzzle instead. This can be bartered for 2 leather caps and 1 Tagilla cap, which if you pick your time right can be about 30k total. This is still a decent weapon with the same ergonomics and 52 recoil instead. Foregrips wise, I often just use the M-LOK ones because they are very similar in performance to the others and avoids having to buy the mount. If swapping from the RK1, we get some more ergo too by doing this. Keeping the pistol grip as the standard Tango Down, the stock can be replaced with a wooden stock and a butt pad. I have had many people comment on my weapon during streams asking about this point, but if you look at the difference between the Zhukov version and the wooden version, it's mainly in ergonomics. We do lose 4 recoil, but the 10 ergo is actually okay with the RD because of the foregrip change, and the ergo is high on this weapon already. On this basis, we can also scrap the knurled charging handle too if you want to. The cheapest 30 rounder with high ergo is also the aluminium version, which we can use instead. Overall, we now have 54 ergonomics and 57 recoil. This also brings the weapons cost down to 180k. 150k for the gun and the parts, with 30k for the bartered Thunderbeast, which is almost half of the meta build. You will in fact make money from selling the default RD stock and replacing it with the wooden version plus the pad. One of Tarkov's quirks is that if we go back to the default RD for a moment, we can see that the buffer tube style stock is significantly inferior to the AK style, even just a wooden one with a pad on it. Going from 71.5 ergo and 97 recoil to 67.5 ergo and 83 recoil is a huge recoil change to move to this wooden one, and goes to show the difference in these styles of stocks. When you have the choice between them, AK style versions are almost always better. Back to the budget build, if you can call it that at this price point, there is an alternative that I'm quite keen keen on, which is the unsuppressed version, especially when using this cheaper weapon. Swapping out the Thunderbeast combo for the Blast Mitigation Device 3-part with the Lantac in the middle brings us to 72 ergonomics and 53 recoil. Yes, we lose the benefits of being suppressed, but this one really isn't all that far off the meta build. 72 ergo and 53 recoil versus 64 ergo and 46 recoil, so it's 8 more ergo at the expense of 7 recoil. This version is also about 180k because the BMD combo is fairly expensive. For optics and lasers, as usual, you can pick what you want depending on the goals of your raid. I often use the unsuppressed version with a red dot like a Delta Point or one of the EOTech Hollows for playing in close quarter hotspots where the lack of suppression matters the least. One other feature of the RD704 that makes it a great weapon for late game play is the possibility of the 50 round magazine. This only uses one 2x1 slot, and so it doesn't interfere with our armor and rig selection. It gives us a ton more sustainability in big fights and is only minus 15 ergonomics. Although that feature is not really ideal, it can be supported by the RD's great ergo once optimized. This does also come with higher in-raid reloading speed though, so you can expect to spend a little bit more time packing mags. Ammo-wise, like all of the 7.62x39 guns, it boils down to PS versus BP. I like to use a variety of ammo across different calibers, so I usually stack a few PS underneath the BP mags, but if you're only using these types of guns, then you can just craft BP over and over and over and probably have enough sustainably if you don't die too often. BP is still extremely good in the mid to late game due to being just over the threshold of two-shotting class 5 armors around 50% of the time, and given these weapons are fully usable on full auto, this combination will continue to be very strong. You get both a very good recoil pattern and also a conservation of ammo because of the RD's slow rate of fire, which actually ends up becoming kind of a benefit. So now that we've checked out the builds, let's go and see it in action in a few raids. It's a hard map. Ah, this is where dudes were. What's in here? EPX. Iridium. Whoa! Ah no, I haven't hotkeyed an injector. Ah! No, no, no. There's a guy still across that side. There's a different angle. Okay. Ah, no, there's another one. We're on the run. We're on the run. Yeah, could armor's trash. Maybe loot the other PMC. I don't know where the other guy. Oh, the other guy though, there was like someone else near him, right? Looked like desync. I mean, I was flustered to hell. We had a crazy fight. Actually, some of the best fights I've had on labs. Right, Chalet, let's go. Able to find my first vertex yesterday on drug lab in the train yard. Interesting. Somebody said go there. It's quite out of my way a lot of the time, but if we're over that way, then we'll go. We'll go there. God, it's a big fight. Let's see if we can third party this bad boy. Alright, boys. I think that's everything from upstairs. Have a look at this guy. Wow, level 65. Holy moly. Also got an RD. He's got better armor than me. There we go. Bit suspect putting on the old tan helmet, but we'll do it. Another guy with one of these. Oh, he's got a completely fresh. I think I'd probably rather have that. And we can put this in here. This can go in there. Look at this. We've got loads of room now. Look at this. We did that guy. We did this guy. And then there's just the guy up the stairs. Got an MDR. Optimize this even more. Stick that in there, and then we'll stick this up here, that in there. We're gonna go. Where should we go from here? Southern Road? Probably Southern Road. Oh god. Another dude here. We've somehow got to get down the marker. Try playing in full screen rather than borderless. Loaded. I know, that was a big one, wasn't it? That was a sick run. It's a bug. We know we can shoot through this now, so we got to be a bit careful. Nothing there. I think we're going to pre-paint here. It's an egg. I need that egg for that quest. Hello, Golem. Satisfaction better. Ow. This helmet. Helmet's actually killing it. Can't believe we took so many shots there. Hello? I was stomping around in here. We killed him. We did kill him, yeah. Get in. Somebody kind of like over there somewhere. That's funny. M4. If anything, gave it away. Ah, I'm amazed he didn't kill me before. That wasn't actually too bad. That was super awkward. We were in like a really awkward spot. I'm actually at. We've got to deal with rogues as well. What DLSS setting? I just put it on balance. We'll go and have a look in the crashed van. Gold ring. Can that go in there? Can go in the sick. Nice. Oh god. Nice. I think it's 2. Right. Right, so that's the first guy. Yeah, that point fire was good. Wow, we heavy. Did you kill me, you bad man? Didn't even hear you until you threw the nade? Oh, sorry, buddy. GG's though. GG's. It was good fight. Good fight. Yeah, it's mule time. The scav down here. Where exactly? It's sometimes hard to tell. Scavvy boy, oh scavvy boy, where are you? Oh, I don't want you to pop out and magnum buckshot me in the side of the head. I could do without that, really. Oh, yo. He's dead. Good. The one we're using right now, it's this one. PM 1x8. It's really cheap in comparison. So next up, go and check out my video on finding Tarkov's hardest items for completing the hideout, the far forward devices. Otherwise, as usual, a big shout out to all my patrons. Hit all the buttons if you enjoyed the video, and as always, have fun in your raids.